So we will, of course, be proceeding with the coveted awards ceremony. I'd like to request Mr. Lamba and Mr. Mahajan to stay back on the stage to do the honors. So, gentlemen. I'd like to share with all of you that the entries for the St. Gobain and Economic Times Smart Green Awards, they were judged by truly an eminent jury, which includes some of the most respected names of the industry. In just a few minutes from now, we will be sharing those names. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Mr. Ravi Sarangan, who played a very integral role as part of our jury. Abhishek Lodha, who is of course MD of the Lodha Group. Mr. B. Santhanam, we already heard from him. Brothan Banerjee, MD and CEO, Tata Housing Development. C.N. Raghavendran, Managing Director, CRN Architects. Truly, we have an esteemed jury, and it is a tough job for them making the decisions. Mr. Gopal Krishnan. Manit Rastogi, MD Morphogenesis. Naina Lal Hidwai, Chairman India and Director HSBC Asia Pacific. I think they all deserve a huge round of applause. A big task on their shoulders. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we begin with the awards. Our first award for this evening is the Smart Green Office Award. And it goes to Infosys Software Development, Block 2 and 3, Hyderabad. So let's have a big round of applause for them. I'd like to invite Mr. Guruprakash Sastry on behalf of Infosys to please come and receive the award. Congratulations to you. And we will, of course, request you to keep that applause coming as I announce the names of our winners, because really they are the ones who are paving the way ahead for our future. Congratulations. Our next award this evening is for Smart Green Living Spaces Award, and it goes to Tao Architecture Private Limited. Could we have Suchi Kapoor on behalf of Tao joining us? Welcome and heartiest congratulations. Truly a proud moment for all of us here. Our next award this evening is for the Smart Green Social Change Award, Development Alternatives. It's our privilege to welcome on stage Dr. Ashok Khosla, Chairman Development Alternatives, and his team to please come and collect the award. To have you here with us, sir, and congratulations. The next award is Smart Green Technology Award. It goes to IIT Madras plus Sasken Communication Technology for the solar DC technology. Congratulations. IIT, of course, put the technology concept together, and Sasken, the heroes responsible for implementation. We have Ms. Surubhi Maheshwari from IIT and Mr. Anil Kumar from Sasken here to receive the award. Keep that applause coming, ladies and gentlemen. Really paving the way. Congratulations once again. And with that, we proceed with the Editor's Choice Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, in this category, we begin with the Smart Green Healing Space Award, and that goes to Fortis Femme, Bangalore. Could we have Rajesh Sivan join us on stage? Welcome, sir, and congratulations to Fortis Femme, Bangalore. award in the Editor's Choice category is the Smart Green Learning Spaces Award, and that goes to IT Hyderabad. So K.V.L. Subramanian here, receiving the award on behalf of IT Hyderabad. Our final award in the Editor's Choice Awards category is for green and sustainable initiatives, and the award goes to IGBC. Could we have Dr. P.C. Jain, Chairman IGBC, to please join us on stage? Privileged to have you here, sir. Welcome. And heartiest congratulations. So much and congratulations once again. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to a very special award. Now, when the jury was taking call on the winning entries, all the jury members decided unanimously that there should be an award for the Smart Green Leader for lifetime achievement for immense contribution towards sustainable and eco-friendly measures. Essentially, we're talking about a gentleman who is walking the talk. He's showing us the way. He's a visionary, ladies and gentlemen, truly paving the way ahead. So please, with a huge round of applause, please welcome on stage Mr. Y.C. Deveshwar, Chairman ITC, to receive this very prestigious honor, the Jury Smart Green Leader Award Lifetime Achievement.
To the jury for doing me this honor. This is not one man's work. Team ITC has been at it. They've been sweating very hard to realize the vision that we set out for ourselves almost 2 decades ago. ITC is not a company that is merely in hotels, because I saw that the focus was really with architects and buildings. ITC is a very diversified company. We engage in all 3 sectors of the economy: agriculture, services, and industry. And we are in some of the most energy guzzling industry, such as paper. So these 2 decades of journey, I'm very happy and pleased to tell you that we have become a global exemplar in sustainability. And sustainability as a concept is much larger than merely being green, and I'll come to it for a moment. Since the minister has not come, I can use this forum to give, since also the jury has defined for me what a working lifetime is. I was unaware. And now I know that the time is short for me. The lifetime awards have been earned. So, the sustainability, so what we have achieved is a global exemplar. And I'll give you an illustration. 43% of the energy consumed by ITC is from renewable sources. You've heard that the national contribution, that intended nationally determined contribution that India has set for itself, which has been announced at COP21, is then by 2030, India would have 40% of energy from renewable sources. And we're going to be aiming much higher. But more than that, for the last 10 years, ITC has been a carbon positive company. We sequester twice the carbon than we emit as a result of our commercial operations. And for the last 13 years, we've been a water positive company. We generate more freshwater resources for agriculture, for farmers, and for purposes of drinking and for industrial use by capturing that fresh water through watershed development and water harvesting than we use, even though we are in the paper business. And we are a waste recycling positive company for the last 8 years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the sustainability issue is a very large issue. And I don't know how many of you know that 10% of global population has 85% of the household assets. That is the degree of inequity that exists globally. And this is much more accentuated when you come to a developing economy such as India. And we all know that water is going to be a very scarce resource, and people predict that there might be wars, for water. And if we continue with the way we are, we consume sort of whatever is budgeted, what the planet can bear in about 8 or 9 months, and we keep on consuming planet's resources for the whole year. So we are really on a track which is not sustainable. Now, the way the industry has developed, economy has developed, value is shareholder value. So we need a new paradigm. I heard people say whether regulatory environment is the answer or whether consumers or users is the answer through education in schools, and whether incentives is an answer, because we need to scale up. Very few people can, even if I say so myself, can get passionately involved in sustainability and get, in a developing economy such as India, a performance like that. You know that all our ITC hotels are LEED's platinum rated hotels. Now, there is nowhere else in the world, even in developed world, no such standards that any hotel chain is adopted. But how do we scale it up? The way to scale it up is through a creative route, because this is a tripod: environmental sustainability, creating livelihoods, and creating profit through consumer satisfaction is a tripod. And it is all interrelated. It only requires a creative sort of creation of a business model and strategy, so that when you embark on pursuit of creating wealth for our shareholders, you're also creating wealth for the planet and creating wealth for the people on that planet, and also servicing the consumers and servicing the shareholders with this reward. So I would say that we should never ever look at sustainability only in the dimensions of one segmented dimensions or deal with it in a silo. Because the moment you find synergy, and then you can get the consumers to begin to benefit from that synergy and shareholders to benefit from that synergy, and the regulatory environment and incentives, and all these three will work together so that we can make our planet livable for the great-grandchildren of into the future. And I'm sure everyone assembled here has this aspiration that they make a contribution to what we have inherited, will leave much richer a planet, more secure a planet than we got from our predecessors. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me and honoring me and giving me this privilege. I truly value it. Thank you very much.
So the privilege is all ours, and really a big round of applause, inspiring words by a visionary, someone who truly walks the talk. And so, of course, if you could stay back on stage, we're going to have a group photograph with all the winners. So welcome back, sir. Could all the winners join us here? Let's have a round of applause for everyone who's joining us on stage, all the winners here tonight doing valuable work towards sustainability and green initiatives. And of course, post this, we have our grand finale performance coming up, so you don't want to miss that. Let's have a big round of applause. Get those hands together, ladies and gentlemen. A proud moment here for us. I love the fact that the applause is going and going, and that just shows the spirit, the energy moving forward. That's what we need. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you, Mr. Lamba, Mr. Mahajan. Thank you so much, sir.